Oberlin residents who came early and stayed late. Friends who lent shoulders to cry on and knew how to make us laugh at the moment we didn't think laughter was possible. Letters to the editor authors. Voters who cared about electing a city council who would stand by this project. Community members who stopped us on the street and told us they were rooting for us. Organizers and activists, signature collectors, mistake fixers, supporters, and even critics, constructive critics. Our friends at Lorraine National Bank, lawyers, city officials, architects, engineers, and contractors, future residents and business owners. Voices for us when we were having trouble getting ours heard. Mentors, philanthropists, professors, fellow alumni, family. And believers that this day would come, especially believers. It is with deep gratitude and overwhelming joy that I welcome you to the East College Street Project Ground League. Ben and I have a little bet about who's going to cry first. And it's kind of unfair that I'm going first. Many times we've been asked, what's made us stick with this project over the last 7 years? And today we're happy to introduce you to many of the people who gave us the reason to keep going. People from a variety of fields, some who don't even have a connection to Oberlin, all of whom went above and beyond to make this project possible. As long as they were willing to keep working, there was always a reason to believe. These individuals not only assisted us, but through their work and dedication, they helped this community find new ways to bring businesses, living spaces, jobs, and tax revenues to the city of Oberlin. This project has always given us exactly the teachers we've needed at precisely the moment we've needed them. Our first speaker today, Dave Clark, was one of the best teachers I've ever had at Oberlin. We met Dave and his wife, Ricky, early on in this journey, as Dave was the director of the Halleck Foundation. It was the Halleck Foundation's $50,000 grant that kicked off this project, and his advice and wise counsel since then that has helped to sustain it. I'd like to introduce you all to Dave Clark.
Well, this is the day that many of us thought might never come. This really calls for a great collective sigh of relief. This is a time for a great community letting out of the air and letting in of the joy. Our kitty cat from time to time wakes out of her sleep and lets her ears get scratched and engages in what we are about to engage in, that is a moment of purr. Today, we are not gathered here to discuss the complexity of local taxes, or the color of bricks, or the aroma of the soil, or the width of the sidewalk. But rather, we're here to rejoice in, to come to grasp more fully the potential of this dream which is coming true in our midst. Last night, the grounds of the substance of that discussion of potential impact was just begun. And I'm sure with the speakers we have today, we will come to grasp days which are behind us, but the great future which is before us. It is my role today, I feel, to pay a special tribute to those three who really have made this dream a possibility. It was, as Josh referred, nearly 7 years ago that my new friend and neighbor called me and said, I have just finished a conversation with some kids here in town who graduated from the college, and they have some ideas and some enthusiasm that I think you'd like to be exposed to. What they need is a few gray hairs and a little experience. And would you be willing to just stand and talk with them? Well, I had hair in those days. It shows how long ago it really was. But my wife continues to have an abundance of gray hair, and she participated in every way. So we gave them the hair, we gave them our listening capacity, we gave them a few meals. That was Ricky's contribution. I poured the wine and did the listening, and occasionally did some institutional memory that guided them in those early, partially faltering days, and even in some of the more sophisticated times that led. But they were a remarkable threesome. We called them the kids. They were steady in every single crisis, and heavens knows there were many. But they were adroit in their ability to look behind the immediate moment and to see some potential that was coming down the road. They became clever at finding ways to seek out funds. They were willing to consider alternative approaches. It was wonderful to see them eyeballing each other after a casual mark and say, we didn't think of that. Do you think that would work? We don't know. And they'd go away and mull it over. It was a joy always to work with them. They came when they said they would come. They were careful about time and left when they were supposed to go. They were a thorough joy. They will become for us lifetime friends. It was and is an inspiration to be with them and to work with them. Ben once nostalgically said, when are we going to stop being the kids? Today is that day. By quoting a slightly redacted version of the famous poem by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, of being lied about, but don't deal in lies, of being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knave to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and pick them up with worn-out tools. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will that says to them, hold on. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything in it, and which is more, you will be fulfilled